ACT Nomara binti Zakaria. My matric number is H22A0590. I am from group 5. Today, I want to present about simple random sampling. Useful in situations where the population is small, uniform, and easily accessible. Every subset within the frame is assigned an identical probability bit of body text. The research must first have a sampling frame or list of population in order to get the sample. A random number generator is a computer software that generates from random numbers based on inputs from calculation. Method: the number of each frame unit range from 1 to n, which is represent the population size. Sampling technique used. Advantage: every member of the population has an equal chance of being chosen for the sample, rather than leaving selection to the judgment of the research. Samples selected have least base since each unit in a population has an equal chance of being chosen. Disadvantage: is it only possible to use simple random sampling if a reliable sample frame is available. Listing all the population members, sometimes it can be expensive and time-consuming to produce the sample, particularly if the population members are geographically physically disparate. If sampling frame large, the method is impracticable. Type of data. An variable of characteristic that has a range of values is called a variable. It measurable the attribute of the population the research want to investigate. A quantitative variable represents anything that has a numerical value or can be counted, can be referred to as numerical data at times. Whole numbers are required for the data. Information that accept value up to the 3 decimal digits. Level of measurement. Measurement scales describe how two characteristics of data might vary depending on their intended application. One factor sets the ratio scale apart. It has the origin or 0 points nature. Ratio scale. The fourth quantitative level of the measurement scale in the ratio scale. Absolute zero is one of the characteristics of the ratio scale. The ratio scale can be used to calculate the mean, median, and mode. One such as feature is the ability to convert between units, such as grams and calories or kilograms or calories.
In this report, which is a part of data agreement, as you can see labeled first in Malaysia. Next part of the relative and cumulative frequency distribution. First, relative frequency is a deportant or percentage for the data that fall in the class, and next to find the relative frequency of a class, divide the frequency small f by the sample size small, and then you will get answer for relative frequency. Below this is the cumulative frequency of a class in the sum of the frequency for the class and all the previous class. Then the formula is the last class equal to the sample size n. So here on the same table as the previous part, but to use a frequency polygon graph using the midpoint of the data.
Next, the two graphical method will be based on this data table. The first graph that we use to represent the data is histogram. The axis X is the class midpoint and the axis Y is the frequency. As you can see, the highest midpoint is 62.5 and the lowest midpoint is 44.5. Now, we move on to the second graph. We use the frequency polygon graph to represent the data. The frequency polygon shows a line graph that emphasizes the continuous change in frequencies. As you can see, this graph shows the increase and decrease in the line.
Next, the measure of central tendency. The first is the mean. The mean value is 8.98. Next, the median value is 8.73. Lastly, the mode is worth 2.5, which is the highest labor force in Malaysia.
Next, visual of position. 5.1 is quartile. The location for Q1 is 12.5. Therefore, the class interval is 36 to 53. Therefore, Q1 is 25.75. This means that 25% of the labor force in Malaysia has less than 46.75, and 75% of the labor force in Malaysia has more than 46.75. The location for Q3 is 37.5. Therefore, the class interval is 72 until 89. Therefore, Q3 is 79.9. This means that 75% of the labor force in Malaysia has less than 79.9, and 25% of the labor force in Malaysia has more than 79.9. Next is measure of variation. The sample variance is 856.42, and the sample standard deviation is 29.26.
Lastly is shape of distribution. Number 1 is mean, seed 8.98, medium seed 8.73, and mode seed 2.5. So the mean is greater than the median, and the median is greater than the mode. Therefore, it is skewed to the right.
So, now I want to show the data I create where it need to find on data set that has one independent and one dependent variable. This data show the present is independent X and GPA dependence Y. Sample size in statistics refer to the number of observation of data point collect in the study. It's a crucial factor that influences in reliability and generability of the study finding. A large sample size generally provide more accurate and representative result, reducing the effect of the random variation. We use three types of the data. Number 1 is nominal, number 2 ratial, and number 3 interval data. Next is the level of the measurement using a quantitative variable consisting of a two interval and a ratial level, but they have a difference in terms of the no-true zero point and true zero point. After the completing data is necessary to find a sample in the existing data, will the next one can be chosen at random and is not more than 100 but and must be at least 30, for example, and equal 50, so the sample.
Next, the Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. The value obtained is 0.80922. So, the Pearson product moment correlation coefficient suggests a strong positive linear relationship between day present and GPA. This means when the day present increases, the GPA also increases.
Regression equation. Estimation of regression equation has been shown in this slide.
Now, the table shows the interpretation regression that we got from Excel. Also, the regression equation is y, which is GPA, equal to negative 2.1735 plus 0.0342x. X is day present, so the beta naught is negative 2.1735. When student day present is 0, the GPA y equal to negative 2.1735. The beta 1 is 0.0342. For every 1 unit increase in day present, GPA will increase by 0.0342 days.